Hello, everyone. Welcome to Word Funk. I'm Leon Thomas, and I'm joined by Austin Yursky, Johnny Maloney. Before we started recording, we were talking about the old dick twist, and now it's like it was a pretty good conversation, and now it's just over because anything that's not recorded and put on the internet doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
Doesn't count. So I don't even know why I'm mentioning it. It doesn't exist. Hi. Welcome to our show.
If it's not content, get it out of here.
I want to know.
Right.
I want to know what happened to Austin Yursky because I'm not convinced that we are podcasting with him. Because the Austin Yursky that I know is always tired, but apparently he is incapable of dealing with being tired today. Austin Yursky, are you getting old?
Oh my god, the grave creeps ever closer, my dudes. I can't even keep my head up today. I'm so tired, but there's reasons. I watched a lot of TV.
Well, that's a good.
Okay.
That's a good reason to creep faster to the grave.
Let's not even pussyfoot, gentlemen. This week, no foreplay. We're just going right in. I'm already halfway in. You can't. It's too late. We can't stop.
Can I say it?
Yeah.
BoJack Horseman.
Back in the 90s, a horse was really rude. That's how the song goes.
Yep.
How does it keep getting better?
I don't fucking know.
It's 5 seasons in. It's supposed to be getting worse. It's getting better?
Like I tweeted that no TV show that in its 5th season deserves to be this good.
And in surprising ways, like they're taking it to darker areas and they're acknowledging like the meta fictional elements of trying to keep a show about someone improving their lives going and how that's not possible with storytelling, but they're also taking like real chances with the format of television. Are you kidding me?
They spent an entire episode on a cheap, not even a cheap joke. Like, I mean, that was like the churro episode.
Yeah, that's the one that was just me as a writer coming for like a straight half hour. They can't be doing this! They can't be doing an entire episode as one monologue! It's not possible!
I thought I had ascended to heaven, and then at the end, it was just like, right in the face.
Unbelievable.
I was like, it deserves to be this good. It does. It's earned its place. But I don't know how it keeps doing it.
Yeah, I mean, where to even start, right? Because we've loved this show since the first season, and we've kept saying, like, I don't know how many times I can watch him get better and then fuck it up and get worse. And he's also not likable, and they keep finding new ways. Like, he's not bad in the same ways, and he's making progress, but then he finds new ways to be awful. And the show is on, like, the bleeding edge of like culture commentary with basically the Harvey Weinstein. I mean, it's almost like the Louis C.K. shit, right? Like it's impossible that they wrote it that fast, but him coming back, it's just
even when like one of my favorite season arcs was when the shit was coming out about the Scientology church, and they did that whole Todd arc about improv. Like they were so on the pulse.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost evergreen, right? Like you can make a show and have an arc about men in Hollywood being awful, and it's always going to be relevant because they're always going to be awful.
Mad Men.
Like the week the show came out, so there's a part in the my brain just turned off because I'm very tired. But there's a part in the show where they talk about men being gross, and like I turned over and looked at my phone, and it was like someone was tweeting about how Drake has an 18-year-old girlfriend, and I was like, "Yo, this shit is just so on point. I can't believe it." But it's always going to be like that because men are always gross. So you can never lose with that one. That's a freebie.
No, Austin, it's not always going to be like that. We have to work to a better future.
I don't know about that. But I a few months ago, I think on this show, I said something along the lines of, I'm gonna really be disappointed when I start hating BoJack Horseman, because sooner or later they're going to do something that, you know, kind of goes over the edge, and like I'm not going to be able to come back from it. And I really appreciate that they took my concerns into account this season, specifically by having an entire episode about the fact that about how you should be watching this show and how you should not be watching this show.
Yeah.
I really appreciate that they basically told the audience, don't be like the Rick and Morty audience. So thanks. I obviously they didn't say that specifically, but I really appreciate that they have like a kind of self-awareness to both address that and like sort of like acknowledge that might be a problematic element of this show, but also like try to do their best with that, and like have like teachable moments for the actual audience of the show. That's hard to do. And they actually did it really well, and not like out of the blue, like it.
Just really well, Leon, but like so well, like so aware, and they don't just like graze it. There's a. I had a teacher in high school who talked about the difference between audiences, in terms of buckshot and sniper rifle. And what a statement means between the two, and what you're trying to do. And BoJack just seems to straddle that, where a buckshot will hit so many people, and only a couple of people will, like a small minority of the audience, like, oh. But a sniper rifle, I hate using the analogy now, because gun violence is terrible. Targets a very specific center, and nobody else gets it. Nobody else appreciates it. So BoJack Horseman straddles that line.
Yeah. I really appreciate that the thing I was talking about, basically the speech that Diane makes, it's not like we're taking like at the end of the episode, you know, we had a lot of fun on BoJack Horseman tonight, and then she says something. It is the culmination of they're making a television series in this television series, and once she realizes how people are taking it, has concerns.
Yeah.
So it's woven into the show quite well, rather than just being like, okay, we should probably have an episode where we explain some things and basically talk shit about our own show a little bit, for, you know, the greater good of this. I like that a lot. I appreciate that the show is not. I do worry that, like, you know, people see like the protagonist and they say, oh, you know, I'm just like him, you know, I get it and he gets me, or something like that. And the show is consistently telling you, look at all of this shit. He's not just like a guy who's depressed, because a lot of people are. He's a guy that there is almost nothing about his life that should be emulated, and it's important. But it is important to see this person, and also see this person make attempts at recovery, which apparently was what happened at the end of the season. There's this thing that I guess rumor. And I guess, well, we're knee deep into spoilers now, so I guess, you know, unless you've seen every single episode and every second of every episode, like, you know, don't listen. But at the end of the last episode, like, BoJack goes into rehab, and they remark that, you know, just because you go into rehab and you come out, it doesn't mean you're going to be like a great person. It just means you're going to be sober. And that's, you know, it's something. And then Diane kind of leaves, and there's this weird, like, the camera lingers on her driving off and then going into a tunnel. And I guess people are kind of taking it as to mean something bad is about to happen to Diane. And then the episode ends, and we have to kind of wait until next season. I don't know if that's true or if everyone's just kind of reading into it, but, like, I watched that last scene, and I'm like, this doesn't feel like an end to an episode. There's something weird going on here. I just don't know exactly what it is. If you have thoughts about that, tell me in the comments. But apparently that's like a thing people are saying. I kind of like raised an eyebrow at the end. It's like, oh, we're just kind of like slowly watching Diane drive away and like nothing's happening. I refuse to believe that someone just stopped writing at like 5 minutes before the show ended, and that's all, and that meant nothing. So I don't know.
I took it to be like deliberately not like cinematic, as it were, because like the point of that last kind of sequence was there's no magic bullet. Like he says, like, oh, I want people to expose me, that way I'll be held accountable. And it's like, yeah, that would be real easy for you if someone else did the work and then you were just okay now. It's hard and it takes time and it's not perfect, and actually mostly it's just going through your day like a normal person, like, you know, like driving is kind of just a thing you have to do to get where you're going. And it was just kind of an artistic representation to that. Although the next season could open on a high-speed chase and a gunfight with two gangs, and she's caught in the middle. Who knows? You know,
Yeah.
Maybe Diane's not coming back.
Right, that's what I thought. I felt like at the end of the episode where we just kind of linger on Diane and she disappears into a tunnel, I'm like, oh, is she dead? Is she dying at the end of this episode? And that's what that means?
It's possible. I mean, like I said, they did an episode that's one monologue, and last season they did an episode with no dialogue. Like, they're on some shit. Like, they absolutely would kill her off screen by implication.
And the character who died and is the reason for the eulogy, she also died off camera.
Yeah.
You don't have to have a big dramatic thing like that.
But we did get drama with them.
Oh yeah, after the fact. That's what I. That's just what I mean.
Not even like, after, but before. Like, it was very well developed.
Okay. Oh yeah.
And I also think that part of the.
Hang on, I'm just gonna say this too, as somebody who has had a very important person die in their life. Mm-hmm. I didn't see it.
Yeah.
I had to get told by somebody.
Yeah, I mean, generally speaking, you're not going to.
Yeah.
Like, people, I mean, the sort of, like, you know, movie cliche of, like, watching someone die in your arms, that kind of happens for some people, but generally speaking, like, when you find out someone dies, they probably died, and then you hear about it, you know.
So that was actually quite real to me.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of feel like the next season is going to open with BoJack getting out of rehab to find out that Diane died in a car accident in a tunnel.
That would be pretty dark. I think more likely she has gone off to do her own, slow, boring, grinding work of being a better person, because she fucks up a lot this season too. I mean, everyone does.
Oh yeah.
And it's such a dark show, but it's also a show which features a prominent storyline about a sex robot and a comically expensive barrel of lubricant.
Yeah.
And
right.
It's like, how? It doesn't feel fair. It feels like they're cheating that they can have all of that. And it's just, it's quite something
Austin,
that they're pulling off.
We just have to admit they're better than us.
Yeah, I mean, game recognized game.
That's
they got it.
That's it.
So,
okay. Good talk about the Sad Horse Show.
And they can't keep getting away with it.
I mean, honestly, like, in my mind, as much as I love this show, I feel like next season should be the last, so that we don't have that moment in the 7th season instead of the 6th season, where we said, this show kind of hit its peak in the 5th and maybe a little in the 6th. Now it's not so good. I hope there's not an 8th season.
We've been saying this since like the 2nd season.
Yeah, Leon, you know what? I'm just gonna let this roll the D20 right here, and just run as long as I can love it. I don't fucking care. The universe is chaos. A show can be good for as long as it's fucking good. I'm gonna die. Maybe I'm dead right now. Is this...
Okay.
I bought a bunch of cheese today.
Okay.
I don't even know if I'm gonna eat.
Okay.
I already have baby arugula in the freezer. The construction outside looks like it's almost done, but they keep making noise I don't understand. So... yeah, maybe BoJack is gonna get a season 6 that's really good. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, okay.
If we had any courage, we would have done the entire BoJack discussion as one monologue. That's what true artists would have done, but we're hacks.
Yeah.
Also, I think I figured out what the difference between BoJack and Rick and Morty is, in the sense that they, I think, are both very popular shows about bad people. And the thing is, Rick and Morty is very invested in trying to show how smart the writers are. They're kind of doing this like, are you impressed? Are you impressed? Are you impressed? Did you get that reference? That was clever, right? And BoJack isn't so much.
I think that Rick and Morty is a secret handshake that a lot of people don't get all the way through. Whereas BoJack Horseman is just straight up empty.
Yeah.
I
still like
Morty,
Rick and Morty, for the record. I know that's not a popular opinion these days.
I like Rick and Morty as well, because I get it all the way through. Yeah. But, there's a lesson at the end of every Rick and Morty episode that I think a lot of people don't get.
Unfortunately, the lesson is also kind of ruined by the fact that the mean smart guy is almost always right. And always smarter than everyone else.
Well, that's part of the lesson, though, is that he's never happy, and he's never connected.
Yeah, people with no empathy don't care about that aspect, though. They super don't.
I know.
Yeah. It's a bad show for people who are bad, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
No, Leon, it's a good show for people who are bad.
I don't know. You should do your clickbait shit where you have a picture of BoJack as the title card and call this episode a bad show for bad people or whatever you just said. Like you did last week with The Witcher, which is obviously a phenomenal game, and you trying to start some shit.
Come on, dude.
I saw that and I was like, you on your bullshit, Leon. You try to get us fucking murked out here on YouTube, dude.
Okay. Let me rephrase, because I feel like I'm not making this clear. I'm not saying Rick and Morty is a bad show designed for bad people. I'm saying this is not the right show for bad people to watch.
No, I know what you mean.
It's a bad show for bad people.
All right.
I just object to you covering us on bacon and throwing us into the lion pit. It's just rough of you to do that to us.
No, I don't. I mean, look,
you were about to say I don't care.
Right, they're only talking about me. There's like, oh, why is The Witcher bad?
Oh Lord.
And since I absolutely refuse to write timestamps for the podcast, like on principle and spite, you have to listen to the whole thing.
This show is so antagonistic.
I'm sorry, this is just a conversation, and I hate the idea that people are like, well, I guess I want to hear what some random people say about this one show I like, but literally nothing else. Like, if you're not in this for our dumb conversations and like how we play off each other, there are thousands upon thousands of other podcasts out there that are specifically about the one topic that you like.
I agree with you, Leon. It's true. Okay. It's all right. But we do have first-time listeners.
Uh-huh.
All right. We have people who come across.
Oh, I want them to leave. I want them to leave. I don't want anyone. I don't want anyone else to start listening to this show.
You don't want any tertiary kind of listeners who are like, "Who is this renegade?" Like Leon Thomas. Oh, I really enjoyed his video on Nietzsche and The Departed.
Uh-huh. But I definitely don't want no.
Leon's out here like the beginning of 300, throwing babies off cliffs into wolves or whatever the fuck happened at the beginning of that movie. Just like, if you ain't strong enough to survive this shit, I don't need you.
Sounds like it.
I don't want any new listeners to this show that I really just do as an excuse to talk to my friends. We're only doing this show for two reasons. So we can still hang out, and for Jade. That's it.
Love you, Jade.
Thank you for your questions, and that's it. Like, there's no other audience to this show.
Hi, Jade.
Like, this is just this whole show is not real. So anyway,
this whole show is not real. Okay,
it's not.
Plot
Definitely
twist.
not.
200 episodes.
I can't build my brand off this show.
No, I'm sorry. You definitely can't. You have to start your own show.
Right.
No, I'm not gonna. No links. So
Johnny's gonna destroy us someday. He's gonna start his own thing, and it's gonna make us both look fucking clown shoes. He's gonna be like fucking the next PewDiePie, and we're gonna feel like real assholes.
What do you guys like? What makes you think that I don't already have my own show?
Yeah,
I mean, it's possible, but like I also feel like you're too open that like I refuse to believe that you've been secretly doing like a really great show under a pseudonym for the last 3 years or something. I just don't believe it.
I mean, he's a cam boy, and he doesn't want to ruin his reputation of that community with this. So.
Yeah,
Johnny, you would be actually very. I thought about this the other day. You would actually be really good as a video essayist on YouTube. Frankly, like as the bare tools of what you have, you should probably be better than I am at it, because like in terms of like computer stuff, you obviously know more than I do. In terms of narrating things, you obviously have like an acting background and would be better at it than I am. And you are also a good writer. So like there's like you have all the tools to do the job I do better. So just in case you ever want to leave the laser factory,
where you canonically work.
Hey.
Yes.
No.
So
we
just throwing that out there.
Use lasers.
Okay. I in my head it's there's an assembly line and you're making lasers, but
look,
I just,
there was radioactive sensors too, right?
Okay. All right. I have other topics now that we're talking about. Yeah. What's up?
Thank you. That's
sure.
That is actually really that means a lot.
No, you're fine. I was just thinking about it the other day. I was like, I thought about like other shows I wanted to do one day, and I'm like, nah. I mean, I make my money this way. I don't want to make any other shows. And I'm like, ooh, you know what a good show Johnny would be good at? And then I thought about it and thought you'd be good at it.
I was like, a while ago you mentioned a show about a skeptic. Kind of.
That's literally the thing I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I was thinking about how that would work in concept. I'm like, I could do it like this, and then like, I literally do not have time for something else, and I do not, and like this is how I make my money. Like it's too late in the game for me to experiment. But like other people could do it, and you are another person.
I would have like for ages. I have wanted to do that with you.
Well. I mean, I do not. I super don't have time. But
I know
that's the problem. But like, it's out there in the ether. If you want to grab it.
No,
if
it's
you
not
can,
because I already know a bunch of other people who do it.
Yeah, but you would be. But here's the problem with the skeptic community, Johnny. A lot of them are really shitty people.
Yep.
And you could bring that "I'm not a shitty guy" skeptic sauce. To that, so that's another thing. Anyway, just a thought. I did have a very important topic I wanted to talk about.
Ooh.
And I want to let you guys know that I drank LaCroix today for the first time.
No, not for the first time. I assume you've had tap water?
No, here's the thing, Johnny. Here's the thing about LaCroix. I had been told over time, because people make LaCroix memes, that this beverage is just water, but like with a mild flavor that you can barely taste, and that is the joke. That it's basically like water. It's not. It's terrible. I have never in my life tasted a drink this bad.
Leon, have you ever had Crystal Light?
I can't remember what that is.
Continue.
Is that iced tea?
No. Oh,
but
no.
It's not good.
No.
What is it?
Crystal Light was a horror in the 80s.
Was a what?
Horror.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Okay. What kind of drink is it though? Like,
diet water that you can work out with.
That's all. That's all. Okay. This LaCroix, I impulse bought it when I was going to the register. There was just it was right there. And I'm like, you know what? Why not? I'm thirsty, and the worst thing that could happen is it just tastes like water, and I like water. It doesn't taste like water. It tastes like, and I've thought about this too much over the past few hours. It tastes like as if water could go bad. Like if water had a shelf life and could curdle, that is what it tastes like. I couldn't finish it. Like, I literally couldn't. And I hate wasting food or drink. That is like, I just can't. It's like a childhood thing that don't ever waste food. So if something is bad, I'll just finish it so I'm full and I won't have to buy something else. And then I'll move on with my life. That is not what happened here. I drank some of it. I almost gagged. And then I was like, maybe that was just the shock of it. Like, maybe if I just drink a little bit more, I'll like grow accustomed to whatever this is. But that's not what happened. It continued to be bad.
I love this because LaCroix is too spicy is the ultimate white person take.
It's not spicy. It's just gross. I could not deal with how bad it was. It made my mouth sad. So all those memes about like what this thing is, they were wrong. I bought the one that said berry. I tasted no berries. I just tasted evil. It was very bad. So that was my adventure today. I decided to have a drink that is a meme for how tame it is. It wasn't at all. It made me feel bad, and I felt like I got ripped off, even though it really wasn't that expensive.
I know people who like LaCroix, and it seems to me that the main purpose of it is for people who, for whatever reason, don't want to drink just water. Like, there's this whole, I guess it's memes about like, oh, you stay hydrated, it's so good for you, but I'm too busy drinking beer or whatever, or energy drinks. Water's fine. Like, have you ever tasted water? It's very good.
Yeah, water's good. I fill a jug up with tap water every day, and I put it in the freezer, and then an hour later, I have my water for the day.
Yeah, but
that is what I
Leon,
drink.
You're not Michigan, are you?
Yeah, of course. I live somewhere where it is safe to drink the water. But that is a mild privilege that I enjoy, and I try to enjoy it every day.
Yeah, obviously, if your drinking water isn't safe, I'm not trying to throw down on you there, but I'm saying most people just drink the water. It's good. It's fine. Why are you being weird?
Yeah, if your water can be set on fire, then definitely don't drink it or anything like that. But if you're in a place where there is just water, it's fine. That's almost all I drink. I occasionally have I have a soft drink occasionally, but I try not to. And that's it. And occasionally juice. But And I don't know. I was like, maybe, and no, it was terrible. If you drink LaCroix, tell me why it's why you think it's good, in the comments. Not in like a hostile way. I'm not trying to shit on something you like, but seriously. Why? What is the flavor? Is it an acquired taste where like after a while you're just used to it and you're drinking it for some sort of medicinal purposes?
What are you talking about?
That has nothing to do with like thirst and like flavor. Like some people will drink like those smart water things and they don't taste good, but like there's stuff in it and well, I should drink it because of this. Like not everyone's eating steamed broccoli because they love it. They just think it has some sort of, it's good for them or something. And
you know what's good for you?
Like,
water.
Yeah, there is also that.
I think this is going to be my new thing. I think my new gimmick is going to be Austin tells you to drink water. I think this is a message I can get behind 100%. It's not problematic at all.
Yeah, it's probably okay.
Tomorrow, headlines. Water's actually capitalist poison. Oops, fucked up. Sorry, I had to make a big apology video on YouTube. I've let you all down. I'm going to do better in the future. Thank you for supporting me in this difficult time. Drink milk now, I guess.
Yeah, I will personally never...
Goats.
I will never forgive Austin Yorsky for, like, in a fit of anger, saying the word water on a live stream. So...
call out post 10 months from now. Do you know what he did?
Everyone's bad. So I'm done with my beverage update.
No, listen, I'm a straight white guy. I'll be fine. I can pretty much do whatever. No one's gonna stop me.
Yeah, that's. I have another topic, but I feel like I've said enough for now. If someone else would like to jump in with like something that's going on in their life that has nothing to do with LaCroix, I'll hear you.
I mean, if it's not about LaCroix, what's the point?
Austin,
good,
Johnny,
good
someone.
Who? I have been awake for 23 hours right now. Yeah, I've been trying to I've been trying to reintegrate my bed and my life into a certain. Okay, so here's the thing that happened.
Okay, tell me.
On Saturday night at like 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning, a fire was set in my building.
Oh.
Yeah. And I got to stand outside in my pajamas with a raincoat and watch the fire brigade curse the whole building for a long time. And
do they call it the fire brigade in Canada?
No. That's just what I said.
All
right.
You're just being adorable. Okay, go ahead.
So yeah, I'm a bit out of sorts because I'm getting to the tired point now. I can talk about things though because I've written them down.
Oh, all right. That's a good way. It's a good way to do that.
I have filled, I'm starting to fill a gap in my life.
Okay.
Media-wise, I have started to watch Airbender.
What? You started to watch what?
Airbender, The Last Avatar.
Oh, okay.
I've never seen it.
Do you mean Avatar: The Last Airbender?
Yes.
I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm not trying to be like a shitty gatekeeper for a show that I've never seen. I've never even seen it. It's fine.
No. I'm getting like I'm tired. Like my energy is running out right now. But yeah.
Okay.
So I started watching Avatar: Last Airbender.
Yep.
It is not the show I expected.
Hmm.
I've not seen it. It's funnier than I thought. I like it.
I love these thoughts.
Do you guys need to take a break? Should we go get some? Go do a little bit of whippets and then get our energy back up?
Okay, that's cool.
All
I know about Avatar: The Last Airbender is a meme in which someone says we're going into the cave to do this, and then someone else says and die. And then someone played Whitney Houston saying, "And I will always love you." Immediately after it, I died. It was very good. And that is the only thing I know about the show, is that someone made fun of it by using a Whitney Houston song. So that is my entire knowledge of it.
Leon, take me inside your process, your creative process for editing this episode in the future. Are you going to leave in all the gaps where we slowly unraveled as human beings, or is it going to be tighter?
Do you want to know like how I edit the show?
Sure.
Okay. All three of us have quirks in how we speak that make us unlistenable unless I fix it, and that's okay because we're just talking and not performing. So it makes sense that happens. I'll start with me, because I feel like otherwise it's going to sound like I'm throwing my friends under the bus.
Oh, I'm excited. I'm getting my special bus uniform on.
Yeah. I say and a lot. When all three of our quirks have to do with us not using the right words. When I can't think of the right word, I say and a lot, and I try to remove a lot of those and ums out of the episode. If you still hear some of them, it is because I can't get rid of all of them, or else the show would just end. I would lose too much of the show.
I do a lot of ums and uhs. Okay.
No, I'm talking about me. I'll get to you in a second, Johnny. You'll go last.
Patience.
Austin, the thing that you do when you don't know the right word is you just say the wrong word.
Hell yeah, dude.
And then you just say, my mouth is bad. And then you say the right word. And I edit that out so it sounds like you're smart.
I'm cromulent as fuck. Get on my level.
Right. And for Johnny's, I don't know what word I should say next. He pauses for a while and then says the perfect word, which is great when you want the perfect word, but not awesome for podcasts. So all of those pauses are just gone. They don't exist. Nobody knows how long Johnny pauses between thinking of the exact appropriate word. Johnny is a perfectionist with this, but it's very easy to edit because I can just go, okay, this is a Johnny speech, so I just this and this and this and this and this is gone. Okay, and now it just sounds like Johnny's talking the way I talk. So that is how I edit the podcast. All three of us cannot think of the right word to say, and we have three completely different ways of expressing our wrongness. It is very bad. It's very bad, but like people don't have to hear that much, because I just edit around it, because I'm not going to make us look bad in front of Jade. Basically,
this is extreme narrow casting.
So, that's basically how I edit the show. I do noise removal for my track and for Johnny's track, and then Johnny's track again because there's this extra noise that starts halfway through Johnny's track that's different. So it's not his fault. Austin's track is spotless. He has a very quiet room, and that's fine. So I don't have to deal with that. I just deal with how we all talk bad.
There's so much construction.
I know. It's not your fault at all. It's just that's the world you live in. I live right next to a loud computer and also loud neighbors who live right under me. Austin is under a cone of silence. It's very good for him.
It's comforting to know that I can use whatever words and you'll fix it, so I can just be as salubrious as possible and etymologically incorrect as I gallivant my way through my unedited sentences, and it doesn't matter because you'll fix it in post.
Right. I try really hard to make sure that like Look, I believe that people should be themselves, but I also think that it's probably a good idea to try to be your best self.
You should be yourself, but just not like that.
Right. Be yourself, but try to be your best self, and that's not a bad thing. And that's what I try to
I'm really
show.
popular with the gays.
I know. I know. It's great. Yeah. Anyway, that's it. I usually don't have to edit out much for content unless one of us just goes completely over the edge. And that's rare. We're usually a little more sensitive than that. Except 2 weeks ago where we just fucked everything. But anyway, that's how the show gets edited, in case anyone wants to hear. I don't know if any of this is staying in because I don't want to lose the illusion.
My favorite Guns N' Roses album.
Not use your illusion.
That was the joke. The joke. There it was.
Yep. I had a follow-up joke to it, but now it's ruined.
Oops.
There's not enough time. Okay. Like I said, I had another topic, but if Johnny, you had further thoughts now that you've collected yourself, you can go ahead. If not, I can talk about my dumb shit.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So I can talk about my dumb shit. Okay, that's fine. Okie dokie. In that case, the president ruined Captain Toad Treasure Tracker for me.
Fucking hell, dude.
Yeah, I know. I just started playing Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, which I love. But now I literally cannot stop thinking about the president's very bad dick.
I can't believe this happened.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame Stormy Daniels for saying that because, like, that's what's going on with me. I do want to talk about the game though, because it's very good, and I didn't know what it was. I thought that it was. I didn't even look into what the game was because I just assumed because it's Toad that it would be like a Mario kind of game where I'm jumping and stuff. But that's not true. It's not a platformer at all.
His backpack's too heavy. He can't jump, Leon.
Right. Right. It's a puzzle game. And that's great. I was not expecting that, but I'm pleased that I have a new puzzle game to play that is fun. I'm enjoying it so far. Apparently there's like 80 levels. I'm on like 10. The puzzles are not super hard, but they are, they're not hard, but they're hard enough that when I'm done, I'm happy about it. Like I feel and Captain Toad, Treasure Tracker hit that world of goo area for me where it's like, yeah, this is getting progressively harder, but I don't hate playing it. And I hope that continues as I play Captain Toad going forward.
Yeah, that game's like basically perfect. It's extremely cute, beautiful, has the right amount of challenge, has extra content and stuff. It surprisingly has good boss fights for a game in which you're a character who can barely move. It's just so highly recommended.
Yeah, it is fun. The Switch version has more content than the Wii U version, but I don't know, having not played the Wii U version, I don't know if I can recommend buying the new version for the, I think, 4 more levels that it produces. But it is fun, and I'm doing something with Captain Toad that I never do when I play video games, and that is when I'm done the level, I go back to the same level, because there's other things I could collect, and I like playing hide and seek also, which is fun. Usually I'm just like, okay, that's done. Now I can move on to the next thing and beat this game. But I'm like, you know what? I want that other diamond too. I don't know if it does anything besides let me go a little further, but okay. So, yeah, I do love this game. And those are my complete thoughts, as I am only a few, like I said, I'm like 10 levels into like an 80 level game.
Okay!
Yeah, like all that, like, time for an adventure. I was like, oh, every time you say it, Toad, it's very good. How are you this cute? I hope there's a sequel to this, and that and then this isn't just like, this is the Toad game that we get, and that's it, forever. Apparently it was well received and sold well, so hopefully there will be another in the future. Because I like I said, I'm barely into the game, and already I want a sequel to it, which probably tells you something. And that's it. That is what I want to say. We have a little time before questions, so if either of you have like another topic, like hit me with it.
Yeah, I'm pregnant with topics, Leon. I'm bulging with topics. I have topics for days. I keep writing them down and keep not getting to them. I will try now. I watched a TV show called Archer. Have you heard of it?
Yes, I've seen every episode.
Every episode?
Me too.
Literally every episode.
All right. So, more specifically, obviously, we've talked about this before, but I caught up, or I think I'd have at least. I watch all the shows that are available for streaming. They are now in a season which has the conceit that Archer's in a coma, and now he's like dreaming about being in noir times.
No.
No.
That's not the most
last
recent season.
That's the
Yeah,
one
that's
I
the-
watched. Anyway.
Okay.
Where
All
are
right,
they
that's
now?
not-
What are they doing now?
Now the most recent season was about him on an island, like right before World War II, and like stuff is happening. And I guess I don't want to spoil it. And the coming season is going to be in space.
I have not heard that. I do not watch TV on the TV, so I don't see commercials. I'm only on the Netflix and so
No,
forth.
That's okay.
there's no commercials. It's just at the. You know what? Yeah, I don't want to spoil it. Yeah. Anyway, tell me about your Archer thoughts.
So going into this, I was like, well, if this whole thing is like a coma dream, nothing really matters. I guess it's a comedy, so it doesn't really need to have super high stakes. So I wasn't sure how I'd feel about that. I think the show is mostly, at this point, an excuse to take familiar characters and just do comedy with them. It kind of doesn't matter whether or not they're spies or drug dealers or what was the other thing they did? They did like another season that was like weirdly themed.
Well,
They keep
Austin,
changing jobs because it doesn't matter. Yeah.
They used to work for ISIS.
Yeah, that was not tenable. But I understand that. But my point is that
if they wanted to keep doing spy stuff, they could have just said, "Okay, now we're in the same spy agency that's just called something else." But they wanted to
a
do
nice
other
inoffensive name like Al Qaeda. It's fine. Don't
Right.
worry about it.
Things. Jesus.
Sorry. But my point is they could just make like a Bob's Burgers style show with the same characters. Like it doesn't really matter what they're doing, right? The point is that there's just these archetypes that we're familiar with and invested in, and then they do the jokes. Am I wrong?
Guess what?
Mm-hmm.
They kind of do. Like, the season you haven't seen is sort of African Queen styled,
Yeah.
where Archer is this, like, pre-World War II pilot in a, like, French-Moroccan village. So...
It's a very good season. The latest season is like, it's short. There's like 8 episodes. And it's a half-hour series, so it's not like 8 episodes of Game of Thrones or something. But it's like it's a compact story that doesn't try to like overextend itself with like filler episodes. So yeah, I did enjoy it. I wasn't expecting to. I thought like, okay, this is going to be the season where I like get tired of this. Even though they keep changing formats, this is when I'm going to get tired of this mean character who like has no self-reflection like the other show we talked about. But no, it's like, yeah, it's actually kind of cool. I continue to, I enjoy it. It's not like, it's not the kind of show that goes into an incredible amount of depth with any of these characters, especially since they're basically being recast every season now. But it continues to be funny. So I can't really take that away from it. Yeah.
Don't you think that's kind of unique, though, for a TV show to kind of abandon this premise multiple times and then just kind of become unmoored and explore different genres? Like, what if the next season of Game of Thrones is like, they all bought a beach house in Malibu. What are they going to do this week? It's just like, is it maybe not totally unprecedented, but I can't think of another example.
There are shows that like retool themselves a few seasons in, and it usually goes badly. They've changed the format that every season is just a completely different show, but with the same characters, or at the very least with the same looking characters. Yeah, so it's kind of neat. I'm not sure how long they can keep this up, but like it's not a show it's not a show like BoJack Horseman where I'm like so invested that I want to make sure they end well and not become like zombie Simpsons. Archer can just kind of go for a while, and I'm not emotionally invested in Sterling Archer. He's just like, he's a dick, and like some of the things he says are funny. It's fine. But this show, on the other hand, I'm like fine for them just to keep going until it sucks, and then they can stop.
It just kind of like lays bare how, I don't know, arbitrary is the word that comes to mind. I'm sure you'll fix it in post. That like just the way storytelling is, like you can kind of just drop anything in there. Like what they could just make like Harry Potter, but it's a CSI spinoff, and like what?
That's fan fiction. I'm pretty sure there is one.
But isn't that just most art then?
Sure.
It's just like taking archetypes and kind of just like fan fictioning them a bit. We've talked before about how like all comic books are fan fiction because the original writers aren't doing them anymore. But that's everything, kind of like since like, I don't know, fucking Mesopotamian times. It's just kind of the same stories. This is not a unique fucking observation, but I don't know. It's weird watching it be so exposed for our viewing pleasure. Just being like, hey, nothing matters. This is all fake. We can do whatever we want with it. Now he has a silly hat. Fuck you. Yeah, let's do questions. Let's go back to the unspeakable dick topic. Elon Miski asks, who do you main on Mario Kart?
Oh, Waluigi. I've literally only played Waluigi. I mean, in this incarnation. I don't remember who I played, like, years and years ago.
In the before times, pre-Waluigi.
Right.
BW, before Waluigi.
I beat Mario Kart. I basically just played Waluigi through every level, and then at the end of like, the last one, the credits rolled. I'm like, oh, I guess I'm done. And then I started playing Captain Toad. Well, we talked about this last week. I do not know what the stats are for any of the characters. I just picked the one whose outfit I enjoyed. That's it. That was it for me. I have no idea if changing my wheels and the size of my cart does anything.
Yeah, it does.
Okay. I just kind of I clicked the one that I thought looked cool. I don't know. I probably could have beat it faster if I tried hard, but then it wouldn't be as fun for me.
I haven't played it in a while, but aren't there stat charts that change when you move this stuff?
Where?
I don't remember. It's been a while since I played it. I just feel like there's the things like top speed and acceleration, and when you
in the Mario Kart that I am playing, when I hover over a character, no stats appear. I'm sure they're out there. But
it's like Bowser's a heavy, so he has really high top speed but low acceleration, and Yoshi's medium. I'm a Yoshi slut. Everyone knows that. That's my reputation. I own it. I'm a proud Yoshi slut. I stand for Yoshi. So.
I only drive with a scorpion jacket on my back.
Jesus Christ.
So he's Johnny's in that. He's on that me shit. He made himself a me with a cool jacket.
Cool. Good question.
Extremely good question. Cyretha asks, Austin, how did it come about that Conrad Zimmerman joined the Dice Fund?
He might also be a comrade. We don't know.
There was literally a conversation we had on air about the fact that he got called that in high school as a taunt.
Oh, that's a shame. I'm sorry. Now I feel bad. All right, never mind.
He's over it. He's an adult. I used to work for Joe Vargas at Blister Thumb / Channel Awesome, and he's friends with Jim Sterling, and Jim Sterling works with Conrad on shows they do, so that's how I got over there. Basically, I was editing Fish Shark Marketing, Conrad's podcast. That's how we know each other. And then I was playing with Laura Kate Dale, who podcasts with Jim. These are all internet people. If none of these names sound familiar, I'm sorry. It's kind of inside baseball.
6 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But we were podcasting, Laura and I, and Conrad saw that, and he was like, I wanna do. He actually tweeted me. That's why, before it was announced he was gonna be on the show, people figured it out, because he tweeted, sure would love to play. And so, yeah, that's how that happened. It was just, that's the thing about pretty much all professional success, is it's about who you know. If my cousin knew a judge, I'd be working in the fucking courthouse right now instead of doing this podcast. Alas, I do not. So sorry to shatter your illusions of the meritocracy. It's kind of just luck. Oh god, here's one I have no idea how this is gonna go. Ebrin at Bjorty Baklov asks, any weird roommate or housemate stories? Do you guys have any
Nope.
stories?
I always either lived alone or I lived with my ex-wife. I didn't do any. I've never done the roommate thing where just like a friend or like a someone who wants to pay half the rent who could live in the other room. I've like literally never done that.
Yeah, I laid my ground rules down pretty seriously.
Oh.
Yeah, you guys are extremely cool. I pretty much always have roommates or housemates.
I like that this
poor.
makes me extremely. I like that this makes me extremely cool and not antisocial.
No, you're independent. You're a strong, independent man. You don't need no roommates. You do it.
Okay.
Girls getting it for themselves in 2018.
Okay.
Yeah, I've told my stories a lot about like my weird roommates and cool friends. I can't think of any particularly weird stories right now that I haven't told before. I told the story about the Papa John sign that got stolen. I told you guys the story about the milk. Has that come up?
I think it sounds familiar.
My roommate left a gallon of milk on the counter, and for like days and days, and it got to a point where it was like we were playing chicken. He was like, "I'm not putting your milk away, dude. Put your milk away." And he's like, "I'll get to it," and he just didn't. And then it like went bad, and I don't know. I'm not a chemist, but like basically whatever process happened in there percolated some gases, and it ended up exploding.
Oh, okay.
So it was very gross. It haunts me.
It exploded. I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how great of a roommate I would be. For one thing, I pretty much walk around naked the whole time.
Hell yeah, dude.
That I live. So there is that. Also, I'm organized, but I'm not clean, which is a weird combination. I mean, I guess I would make the effort to be cleaner when someone else is there. Like I tried to be cleaner than I normally am when I was married. So like there was a little effort there, but not like a tremendous amount because, like I said, I am organized but just not clean. If something is messy, I don't even notice it because it's fine so long as I know exactly where everything is. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'll pass on that. I'm probably moving again soon. And I'm definitely not looking for a roommate.
I feel like you're traveling this great nation in a boxcar, Leon. You're like moving every couple months. Are you like Are you attached to the back of a train or something? Is that your office is on the rails?
There's just shitty people out there who I don't want them to have my address. So I'm that's part of it. The other part is there's nothing keeping me where I am anymore. Like all my friends who live in the area moved away recently. And my other close friend who lives in the area is moving away in a matter of days. And I don't have a family. So there's not, and I can work anywhere I want. So there's nothing keeping me exactly where I am. So why not live somewhere I'd like to instead of where I happened to have landed? So, that's basically what's going through my head.
All right. Leon cannot be tied down. He's free.
That's exactly what I said. Mm-hmm. Okay.
A quick one basically for me. Jay Poiret at Narrowneck on Twitter asks, "Hey Austin, what are you most excited about in the new Magic set?" So Guilds of Ravnica comes out next month. It is a pretty cool looking set. It was fully spoiled today as of this recording. And the only thing anyone's talking about is Assassin's Trophy, which is not even a mythic rare. It's just a rare. And it is pre-selling for $35 a copy, which is Banu news because you're going to need 4 if you're going to play Assassin's Trophy. So right off the bat, a 60 card deck. The first 4 cards, it's going to run you $140 for 4 cards. Good luck with that, everyone. It's just fucking brutal out there. Not only is the card incredibly good, just unrestricted removal. It's any permanent. Not I almost said non-land because that's what a normal person would have made it. Mark, idiot. You can't make it any permanent. It also, the card art features the dead body of a character I was looking forward to coming back. So that was traumatic for me. It's like, oh, everyone's talking about a powerful new card. Maybe the best removal ever printed. Oh, I guess she's dead. Okay, fine. Be that way. But yeah, that's the big exciting thing. The rest of the set looks fine. I think it's a very narrowly focused set. For those who don't know, Ravnica is about 10 guilds, and they each have like a very specific focus. And it's being split. There's 5 guilds in the new set, and then there's going to be 5 in the January set. The cards I like to play are going to come out in the January one, so there's nothing for me, but it still looks cool. I appreciate the artistry of this upcoming set because there's so much going on in like terms of lore and art and balancing. You have to make a limited environment that's fun. You have to make something that contributes to standard and modern and legacy and commander. It's a delicate balancing act. It's really cool. I've said this before, but like Magic sets are works of art unto themselves, and I appreciate them, even though there aren't literally any cards I want to play in Guilds of Ravnica, which seems like a pretty big slam. But in the next Ravnica set, Ravnica Allegiances, literally 20% of the cards will be specifically me-focused, as if they were designed for me particularly, because that's when Azorius will be featured. So I'm pretty psyched to see who we get as the new leader of Azorius, now that Asperia is dead. One assumes a blue-white planeswalker, because probably Bolas has taken over. Dovin Bond? I don't know. Who knows? I mean, I was talking about this with Chris Larios the other day. He thinks that Tezzeret, but Tezzeret's never had any white in him. Who knows? Anyway, no one knows what I'm talking about. New question. Can we get a wrestling question for Leon? Leon, where are the wrestling questions?
It's fine if there's not.
Yeah, here's a very generic one. I hope this helps.
Okay.
Taria Gale at the Xenochrist asks, how did Leon feel about the latest WWE PPV? It's very...
Oh, God, which one? Oh, Hell in a Cell. Yeah.
I'm sorry. This is a family podcast. Can we call it Heck in a Snek?
Sure. It was Heck in a Snek. So, okay. The show... Here's the thing about a wrestling show, and it's also like this about any work of fiction, I guess. If you end badly, that's the thing people are going to remember, which is another reason why I need BoJack Horseman to end without it being bad. But yeah, the show was good. There was a lot of like fun matches and cool surprises, and like a title change that everyone wanted. But the thing that everyone's going to remember about that show is that the one match in WWE that can only end with by pinfall or submission, like there's no disqualification. It's like, it's absurd that it would end in like a screwed up finish. Basically just got called off. They were, instead of like one guy pinning another guy, because they're locked in a cell, and like the whole idea of Hell in a Cell is like, yeah, it's like these two guys, they got to fight it out, and there must be a winner. There's no way around it. But then WWE signed up Brock Lesnar to work in Saudi Arabia, basically, because he can make $1 million for working for the Saudi prince in a match. So they said, okay, Brock, in order to set up this triple threat with you and 2 other guys, you need to come into the cell and break the door off and like beat up the 2 guys, and then the referee will say, yeah, these guys are too beat up. This match needs to end. And there was just no winner. There was no winner in the one match that is like supposed to be like the conclusive end to a feud, like historically anyway. And people were not happy about that. It's absurd. It would be like if there was a match where you could only make your opponent submit and someone pinned them instead, and then they said, this is fine. It's like, that's not the match. It's very silly. So there's that. The show was good. It's just the most bizarre, like eyebrow raising kind of, ending I think that's the thing that people are talking about. And that's a shame.
What if Brock Lesnar and Vince McMahon go to Saudi Arabia,
Yeah.
and then we just launch them into the negative zone. Just that entire kind of situation. Is that an option?
I mean, it's not an option. But here's the thing about WWE taking an incredible amount of money from a Saudi prince and to basically do propaganda for their regime is there's this like really bad false narrative around it where people are saying like, well, you know, if an American company goes there, maybe the Saudi government will like change their minds about stuff and become more Americanized. First of all, I don't know if that's like the best idea to Americanize people for one thing, but another thing, you're backwards and wrong. That is the opposite of what is happening here.
I like how the phrase again, like maybe we can Americanize them and they'll stop the genocide in Yemen they're doing.
Yeah,
just little changes. That's incrementalism. That's the important thing.
Yeah. The thing people don't seem to understand is that WWE is being used as a tool. This is a charm offensive, and we've talked about this before because this is not the first show they've done there. But they're going back less than a year later for another ridiculously overpriced show, in which it's bad.
Also, nobody ever teaming up with America leads to less death. That's never been a thing.
Yeah, I'm not. Jesus Christ. Thing is, that's the thing. Saudi. WWE is not when they run shows in like other countries and whatnot or just in America, they're not teaming up with the country specifically. I mean, except in the sense that they have to, you know.
No, it's all about business.
Yeah, it is. This is a business deal between a company in America and literally the government of another country. They're not going there at the behest of like a corporation that works there. Like, hey, let's do business. They're being paid to do propaganda for a country that's doing a charm offensive to the West to try to make people think.
Leon.
Yeah. Yep.
I've been up for like 20 hours now.
Let's end immediately.
No, you guys go on. Go ahead.
Yeah, we're almost out of time anyway. Anything you guys want to say right before we go and Johnny goes to sleep?
Yeah. Camping still sucks.